Good evening. It's my pleasure to have you join us today for the news in English here on Rwanda Television. My name is Gloria Mutesi. Starting us off tonight, President Paul Kagame has announced that Rwanda commends the progress that has been made in integrating the Democratic Republic of Congo into the EAC. His Excellency Paul Kagame made the remarks on Wednesday during the virtual 18th Extraordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Stationary begins our coverage tonight.
The extraordinary summit saw the participation of the presidents of Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda and Tanzania, while Burundi's head of state was represented by the country's vice president, and South Sudan's Minister for East African Affairs represented that country's president. The summit received and considered the report of the Council on the verification mission on the admission of the DRC to join the East African Community, and directed the Council to expeditiously commence and conclude negotiations with the DRC for admission to the East African Community and report to the next summit. President Paul Kagame informed the other dignitaries that Rwanda supports the DRC's integration into the bloc.
I also wish to note that Rwanda welcomes the progress made with regards to the admission in the East African Community of the Democratic Republic of Congo. We look forward to the prompt conclusion of the remaining admission procedures.
The summit recalled that at its 21st ordinary meeting held on the 27th of February this year, it considered the application of the DRC to join the EAC and directed the Council of Ministers to expeditiously undertake a verification mission to the DRC in accordance with EAC procedures for admission of new members into the EAC and report to the 22nd summit. The move is being seen as beneficial for both sides, with the DRC having imported goods worth $6.6 billion in 2019, 31.2% of those goods coming from China. During the previous year, the EAC had exported goods worth $855 million to the DRC, 11.5% of all the imports that entered that country in 2018. The dignitaries in the extraordinary summit also discussed the COVID-19 pandemic and the renewed threat the Omicron variant poses.
As the year ends, we all continue to confront the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. This threat demands that we work closely together as a region to protect the health of our people and minimize the disruption to our economies. Finally, Chair, deepening regional integration, Rwanda stands ready to play our part in this important task.
The summit also observed a minute of silence in honor of the late His Excellency Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, the former president of the United Republic of Tanzania, who passed on the 17th of March this year in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The summit paid a glowing tribute to the late president for his commitment to the East African Community integration process, infrastructure development, and steering economic growth. It also congratulated Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who was attending the summit for the first time as the President of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Now, results from the 6th Demographic and Health Survey show that domestic violence between married people is reducing, attributed to their levels of education. The survey shows that the victims of domestic violence, 54% of them are women that didn't go to school and 24% of men that also didn't go to school. However, 19% of women and 6% of men who have completed high schools are the victims of domestic violence by their spouses. Augustine Byaruhanga and his wife Chantal Mukagatare have spent the better part of the 16 years they've been married in conflict. They both regret their actions that made them experience a lot of loss.
When we managed to resolve our conflicts, we started to discuss everything together. If I had earned money, I would disclose it, and we planned for it. If we had sold our livestock, We would plan that money together.
During the time when we were having conflict, we lost a lot of things. We had one house, but after we were able to resolve our conflicts, we were able to build other houses. We bought more cows and we've renewed our lives. During a meeting that was organized by the National Forum Against Domestic Violence, Professor Vincent Sezibera of the Rwanda Psychology Society explains what can be done to address these challenges.
We need to continue creating awareness about the law, to learn more about how culture can be obstacle, but mostly we would like to see how people that are victims of gender-based violence can be rehabilitated emotionally from traumas they have gone through.
In Rwanda, 65% of women and 39% of men believe that a man has a right to beat his wife when she burns the food, when she talks back to the husband, when she goes somewhere without the husband's knowledge, not caring for their children, and her checking their phone. 23% of women are victims of gender-based violence, while 6% of men are victims of gender-based violence. 46% of ever-married women and 18% of ever-married men have experienced spousal, physical, sexual, or emotional violence. Women and men who have more than a secondary education, 19% and 6% respectively, are less likely than women and men who have no education, 54% and 24% respectively, to have experienced spousal, physical, sexual, or emotional violence. Health Minister Dr. Daniel Ngamije says that education for the girl child can prevent a lot of these challenges.
It is evident the difference between people that have gone to school and those that haven't. It protects them from a lot, and even the levels of education matter. For instance, a girl who stays in school will focus on that and prevent them from getting married at an early age. And this gives them awareness about how they can avoid domestic violence.
Statistics from the National Institute of Statistics for 2019 show that court approved 8,941 divorces due to violence between spouses. The effects of gender-based violence include the increase in street children, drug use, trafficking, prostitution, begging, smuggling, and more. And moving on, residents in Kigali City say they are happy with the results of various activities aimed at beautifying the city, as they've provided employment and helped them keep the city's air clean thanks to the trees and other plants that have been planted all over the city. Innocent Mugabo now reports.
These say that Kigali has now reached an interesting level than before the government launched a campaign to make Kigali a clean and safe city in all its forms.
Kigali looks very beautiful that even those in rural areas want to come and live here.
However, some residents also complain over those with construction activities in Kigali City that are reluctant when it comes to environmental protection measures, urging authorities to follow up on them before it's too late.
I think it would be better if people leave space for planting trees so that we can get fresh air to breathe and for the rain.
I think those responsible don't make follow-ups on the matter. The other worrying thing is people who cut down trees planted by the City of Kigali authorities and never replace them. For example, the former branch of DPR in Kimirongo. Dr. Mahabganama Guru Merald, the Vice Mayor in charge of urbanization and infrastructure in Kigali City, notes that all those with construction activities in Kigali are required to reserve space for planting trees and flowers, although some don't comply with the directive. Some violate the directive, but we also keep making inspections and ensure that it is respected. He also adds that the tree and flower planting program in parks and nature attractions in Kigali City is being intensified and other efforts are being made to make Kigali a better city for everyone. We made reforms and elected officials in charge of all issues to do with keeping the city green. One city development expert says that even though Kigali city looks beautiful when you look at it, there is still a big step to be taken by both the people and authorities for Kigali to reach all the standards of a green city.
Ni byinshi umuntu yavuga ariko uhereye wenda tuvuge nka mu mujyi nk'ifoto ya satellite. Currently, when you see the satellite photograph of Kigali, buildings cover the largest area, so I believe in 10 to 15 years to come, the green nature will be the largest. The other thing is that if this becomes the case, then people are more likely to opt for walking in Kigali than any other means for the sake of their health due to the clean air from these trees. Activities aimed at beautifying Kigali city have also employed several people. These also note that they have started getting customers, mostly those from secondary cities, who come to buy trees and flowers to beautify their home yards in line with protecting the environment. Innocent Mugabo, RTV News.
And elsewhere, the Eastern Province Administration has committed to never drag its feet regarding sensitizing the public to further strengthen the preventive measures against COVID-19, including vaccinations. In a press conference held on Wednesday, the governor of the province, Emmanuel Gasana, reiterated that public awareness in regards to prevention measures will continue, plus educating the public about the importance of vaccination.
On the province level, we established ways to make campaigns through cooperatives, schools and other crowded places. As of now, among 2.2 million residents eligible for vaccination, 1,946,000 residents, equivalent to 49%, have been vaccinated. Over 1.1 million residents have received the first dose, while 18,000 received 2 doses. Yes, there are some few residents that do not understand the importance of vaccination, but we try to make them understand the importance of getting vaccinated. It has been evident that some local leaders as well do not understand the importance of getting the vaccine. So we started with them because they have to lead by example.
The Eastern Province has also been hit by such a severe drought. The 2022 air crop season is not going well for some farmers. More than 35,000 families have been affected by the drought. Governor Gasana said residents have been helped with basics like food, and there's no worry that they might go hungry.
Among 95 sectors in this province, 42 have been affected by drought. Over 35,000 families were helped with basics like food. We thank our government and His Excellency President Paul Kagame for helping Rwandans and making sure that Rwandans live well and secured. We made a clear mapping to see where insecurity issues might arise and how we can secure those areas. This is not a period to do whatever you want, including gatherings that do not comply with COVID-19 preventive measures.
And in terms of security, Governor Gasana said that strong measures have been taken to maintain security, especially during the end-of-year holidays. Well, that's it for tonight. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season while adhering to all COVID-19 regulations. God bless you and keep you. And until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi. Bye for now.